Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Barakaha Kodash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well. In peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and I'm going to start it off in Psalms chapter 19, verses 1 to 4. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament sheweth his handiwork. And those heavens that are declaring the glory of the Most High is speaking of the second heaven, or space, where what do you have? You've got the sun and the moon, which is used for signs and seasons, and then also in low orbit space, you've got these satellites, which beam these different signals of the internet to the ends of the earth. And the internet, or the unicorn, as it's known in the scriptures, has been declaring the glory of the Most High, because the prophets of the Most High, chiefly through GMS or Great Millstone, have been using the internet to declare the glory of the Most High and preach these scriptures to the ends of the earth, to wake up the elect and prophesy the downfall of this current system we're in, the rulership of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Verse 2, day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night sheweth knowledge. Because as I'm speaking, you've got brothers making videos like myself, brothers uploading videos, and brothers and sisters watching videos. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. And hey, you've got brothers in GMS all across the planet preaching this word in different tongues, edifying. You've got brothers in the United States of America, which is biblically known as Babylon the Great, brothers in Canada, brothers in South America, brothers in the UK, Europe, Africa, Japan, the Philippines, etc., etc. You've even got brothers out there that preach in sign language. Hey, there's not one stone that's not unturned when it comes to preaching the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, declaring the glory of the Most High. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun. And like I just said, hey, with us preaching this word through the internet to the ends of the earth, we're waking up the elect and bringing down this current system of things, this age of the rulership of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites, before the ushering in of the kingdom of heaven, where the true children of Israel, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, will be ruling for eternity. This is Matthew 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Hey, the heavens declaring the glory of the Most High through that unicorn or the internet. And then shall the end come. And we can if you've got a spiritual eye, you can clearly see that this prophecy is taking place as we speak. Beginning with our apostle elders going on to YouTube back in 2007, what have you seen? The elect waking up from one end of the earth into the other, and all these end time signs, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus Christ, told his disciples to look for, to know that his second coming was nigh, and that the end of the age of the rulership of these heathen nations was at hand, is either in the process of taking place or taking place as we speak. And best believe that the current rulers of this planet, the elites of the Edomites, such as the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, DuPonts, Gettys, Merovingians, you name it, understand this and see the elect waking up and their rulership coming to an end. So as it says in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, they're about to pull out all the stops to keep this word from going out and prophecy from being fulfilled. And one of the main things is the famine of the word, taking this word off the internet in any corner it may be in, as well as taking the men of the Lord off the highways and byways, which is what I'll be dealing with in this video with an article from endoftheamericandream.com. They want national internet speech regulations so that they can legally censor you into oblivion. And when you look at things with the spiritual eye, you know exactly what this is talking about, bringing about the famine of the word, trying to keep this word from going out, trying to keep the elect from waking up, keeping prophecy from being fulfilled, and these elites trying to keep their rulership from not going down. But at the end of the day, it's all futile. As it says in Isaiah 55 verse 11, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please. All the elect will be sealed, and you Edomites are going down along with you other heathen nations, and the kingdom of heaven will be established. But hey, the famine of the word must take place. It's also a part of prophecy. So like we always tell you sincere Akim out there, you should be drinking from these rivers of living waters while you still can, because as we can clearly see, that famine of the word is about to hit, and you want to have as much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to guide you during Jacob's trouble. You don't want to be a 2/3 out here who spent this time of liberty when the word was freely available, not taking heed unto it and actually scoffing at it. So during Jacob's trouble, when they're trying to find answers, they won't find it. They'll be running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and they're going to have to take whatever judgment's coming their way. This is Amos chapter 8. I'm going to read verses 11 to 13. Behold, the days come, and best believe they're coming quickly, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh, the famine of the word. They want national internet speech regulations so that they can legally censor you into oblivion. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. Again, 2/3 of the nation of Israel who spent this time of liberty scoffing at the word. In that day, they're going to be looking for the word, but as it says, they shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst, because they're not drinking. They won't be able to drink from the rivers of living waters, the understanding of the scriptures, and how to navigate through the terrible times of Jacob's trouble. Facebook, Twitter, and other big tech companies actually want standardized internet speech regulations. In fact, Facebook has been spending millions of dollars on ads that openly call for more government regulation of speech on the internet. And best believe that these different platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you name it, those that own them rub shoulders with the elites, and they're all on board with their NW0 agenda. You can view an example of what I am talking about right here. At first glance, it may seem odd that Facebook wants more government regulation of the tech industry, but it actually makes perfect sense. If the federal government is the one making the rules, Facebook and other big tech companies can legally censor you into oblivion without ever having to worry about any legal consequences. And then because all other social media platforms in existence will have to follow the same exact rules, there will be nowhere else for you to turn. Hey, so these measures that are going to come about are not only going to hit Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and these other big social media platforms, they're going to hit the smaller alternative ones as well. It's going to be a blanket censorship to bring about the famine of the word and to keep the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai from going out. There won't be any free speech alternatives to Facebook and Twitter, because all those alternatives will be forced to apply the same speech standards that Facebook and Twitter are applying. Right now, Facebook and Twitter are losing millions of users to other platforms, and they want this to stop. And so they are going to continue to push for national internet speech regulations that apply equally to everyone. In the end, Facebook basically envisions that everyone else in the industry will be forced to engage in the sort of extreme censorship that Facebook is already engaged in. The following are 3 quotes that come directly from Facebook. Today, we work with more than 80 partners covering over 60 languages around the world to review potentially false content. It should say really so-called false content. Hey, a lot of people out there are waking up to the fact that these major platforms, not just on the internet, but as well as the mainstream news, is actually fake news, and it's all a pre-packaged narrative used by the elites to get people ready for their NW0. We include warnings on posts that are rated false so that you can decide what to read or share. When third-party fact checkers label content false, we significantly reduce its distribution so fewer people see it. That sounds so noble, doesn't it? But of course, all of the third-party fact checkers have an agenda, and all of them see the world the same way that Facebook sees the world, really how the elites see the world. If you are an independent thinker, it is just a matter of time before you are hit really hard by the censor hammer. The censorship has gotten stricter and stricter with each passing year, and the number of people that Facebook has working in this realm has quadrupled. Facebook is not waiting for regulation. We're continuing to make progress on key issues. We've quadrupled our security and safety teams to 40,000 people and built new privacy tools. We're also working with tech peers to make it easier for people to move their data between platforms securely. While we at Facebook are working to make progress, we know that we can't and shouldn't do it alone. That's why we support regulations to set clear and fair rules for everyone, and nowhere to turn to, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and support a safe and secure open internet where creativity and competition can thrive. They claim that they are relentlessly working to weed out hate speech, really truth speech, ultimately the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, which, as we read back in Matthew 24, verse 14, this gospel of the kingdom being preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations is bringing about the end of this current age of the rulership of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. But their definition of hate speech is essentially any opinion that they disagree with. They also claim that they are fighting health misinformation head on, but their definition of health misinformation is essentially anything that contradicts the narratives that are being pushed by the big pharmaceutical companies. Anything having to do with DIVOC, jabs, or DIVOC treatments has become such a sensitive area, and we can clearly see that there's been a censorship to fight so-called medical disinformation. Brothers have to speak in codes like I'm doing in this video, and hey, even if brothers speak in codes, they'll get videos taken down. And it's not just dealing with the DIVOC bite and the DIVOC number after 18 in general, but it's even getting to the point to where we can't talk about the charagma in Revelation 13 verses 16 to 17 anymore. The big tech companies have been extremely diligent to censor users when it comes to these topics, but that still isn't good enough for some Democrats. A few months ago, 2 Democrats in the Senate introduced a bill called the Health Misinformation Act. The nicest thing that you can say about the Health Misinformation Act proposed in July by the Democratic Senators Amy Klobuchar and Ben Ray Lujan is that it means well. The internet has been a key accelerant of widespread myths, misunderstandings, and lies related to DIVOC number after 18. Klobuchar and Lujan's bill would force online companies like Facebook to crack down on false information during public health emergencies or lose immunity from lawsuits if they don't. The good news is that this bill probably doesn't have much of a chance to get through Congress right now, but Democrats will inevitably keep trying. Meanwhile, over in the EU, there are plans to start systematically monitoring text messaging and video chat platforms for suspicious content. So it's not just over here in the States. The fame of the word is going to hit the entire globe. A German member of the European Parliament is warning against EU plans to adopt new, wide-ranging mass surveillance rules that he says would seriously jeopardize citizens' rights to privacy by forcing tech companies to give access to encrypted messages to the authorities. And that is what the laws now in the works in Brussels that are supposed to replace temporary rules adopted in July are designed to do by ordering messaging and video chat providers like WhatsApp. Hey, which the brothers use, and Skype to put tech in place that would provide access to people's private communications, and thanks to an automated system, monitor chats in real time and report suspicious content. And hey, the powers that be have been really going after WhatsApp, because a couple of months ago, they came out with a new rule saying that I think iPhones older than a 6 and certain Android phones won't be able to access WhatsApp. You're going to need phones newer than an iPhone 6 to be able to get on that platform. Of course, anything that deviates from the official narratives about the situation would be considered to be suspicious content. So what should be done to those that are guilty of spreading health misinformation? Well, the CEO of Pfizer says that they should be treated like criminals. Hey, Akim, we know that when the time comes, the elites are going to send their dogs to come after us. Not only are they trying to take the word off the internet, but they want to take the men of the Lord off the highways and byways as well. Hey, some of us will be thrown into prison, but hey, have all faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. People who spread misinformation of Dibach number after 18 jabs are criminals and have cost millions of lives. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla said Tuesday. Speaking with Washington, D.C. based think tank Atlantic Council, Bourla said there is a very small group of people that purposely circulate misinformation on the shots, and I wonder who the majority of that very small group belongs to, misleading those who are already hesitant about getting jabbed up. They don't want us to criticize what they are doing, and meanwhile, they are making billions upon billions of dollars and laughing all the way to the bank. It is truly sickening. That's it with this article. But as you sincere Akim out there can clearly see, with each passing day, we're getting closer and closer to the fame of the word. So again, you should be drinking from these rivers of living waters while you still can, so you can have that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding during Jacob's trouble to get you through it. And as for you 2/3 who have spent this time of liberty scoffing at the word and not taking heed, hey, you're going to get exactly what you deserve during Jacob's trouble. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim are edified. Just keep strong and keep pushing this word. We're almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.